All right, people, hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast. We've come down to the semifinals in the Summer Bracket Challenge, and you know that means these matchups are going to be really, really tough to pick.
Spicy.
And first up, Mr. Leo Messi against Ronaldinho.
Is it tough to pick them?
I
Not for
mean,
me.
not if you're an MLS fan.
Well, I mean, I just look at it in this way, right? You know, you're looking at it and you say, okay, it's we had a conversation about Pep and Arteta. And we said, hey, Pep put the formula out there, Arteta has to create his own thing. Well, I mean, Ronaldinho put the thing out there for Messi. And Messi said, okay, I got you. I'm gonna add this to it, and then people gonna call me the GOAT. And then it went from there. And I think that's it. I mean, yeah. I mean, he doesn't play with the flair, and
Right.
and so I mean, maybe that's you can use that as a knock. But I mean, at the end of the day, it I think the comparison is well, it was one is about winning the Champions League final, which we already know Leo does, and he's about to win the League's Cup. So he's just gonna pivot himself even higher because winning a cup for a tournament that just got created is more important than any history cup ever in life. And so, because of that, uh, I mean, I think that's enough. I mean, I think Ronaldinho is an amazing player. I think if you put anybody else up against him, the conversation's different. But Messi learned from him, and he said, "I was once the grasshopper, and now I'm the praying mantis, and I'm the one that eats them." I don't know if I'm calling Messi a girl or not, but what I'm saying is, it's the one that eats the other one. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, hey, fair enough. I
But I'm
think,
not calling Messi a girl.
yeah, I think you hit on maybe one of the only differences. One of the things I love about Ronaldinho is just the joy. You can just see how much he enjoyed it, and maybe that was because he was like drunk or whatever.
Yeah.
I've heard the stories that he didn't train. He'd just show up on Wednesday for the trip, or on Friday rather for the trip, and they'd go, and then he'd score two goals and do a samba dance and be smiling at you the whole time and just absolutely boss the whole game. But just like with pretty much every messy matchup we've had, it's hard it's hard to pick again against he's just gonna no one's stopping him. No one's and then on top of what he's just gonna provide as just like a standard. Well, I've talked about the X factor in these matchups, this whole bracket, and some of the stuff that Messi just pulls out, like it's as much as Ronaldinho played with joy, and we love to see that, it's a joy to see someone playing the game you love, doing things that like you wouldn't even think of. Like we've all been out on the field, like that. I'm not thinking of stuff like that. I'm not seeing that move. There's four guys in between me, and Messi's looking this way and puts the pass in that way.
Yeah.
Like he's just got everything that there is to have. And as much as I think he may be tarnishing that legacy a little bit with the circus that's going on over here in the States. As far as this bracket goes, and we know man's going to have the best game of his career. I mean, how do you not pick Leo Messi?
Oh yeah.
I'm picking Ronaldinho.
Well, that's because you're an antagonist and you enjoy that. You
This
enjoy
is true.
that
This is
role.
true
This
as
is
well.
very true.
This is very true. Um, I don't know, man. I feel like I feel like Ronaldinho did it during an era where Messi shared the stage with Ronaldo. Ronaldinho had 40 other guys on his level during his time. That was probably a golden era of the sport where you had just the right amount of balance between God-given ability and a little bit of work ethic. While Ronaldinho might have went and partied while he was a professional, he spent his entire childhood playing in the streets in Brazil, trying new things, coming up with things with kids, coming up with, just actual street ball. He played like FIFA Street was his childhood. So, you can say what you want to about them. They get that skill or that, the knowledge of the game from somewhere. And it's looking, I don't know, Lewis, you really hit the nail on the head when you're talking about, I mean, it's student versus the master, right? Or, it's student versus the teacher. Without Ronaldinho inspiring in Messi and telling him to try these things and putting him in a place in Barcelona where he could be solidified for years to come, do we have a Leo Messi if Ronaldinho's not there? Do we have that type of creative mindset if Ronaldinho's not there to teach a young Messi, like, no, you play the game like this. Like, you're good, but if you add a little this, you add a little sugar and spice and everything nice in the between. I love Ronaldinho. Like I said, he's got the X factor in him too, man. There's not a doubt in my mind if you need a goal. He watching some of the Champions League finals or Champions League highlights where, it's 0-0, it's 80th minute. They've been dogging him the whole game. It's a El Clasico. They've been dogging him the whole game, fouling him the whole game. He's like, yeah, watch this. I know what you're about to do now. He breaks 4 slide tackles and, juggles the ball on his shoulder and then laces a volley to the top 90. I loved watching Ronaldinho. He's one of the reasons why I love the sport. It is biased in that sense. I grew up on that. That was prime Ronaldinho was prime childhood, prime instrumental learning for me and coming into the sport. And I hated that he played for Barcelona. I hated where he went in his career. I'm not an AC Milan fan either, but I love Ronaldinho, man, and I think Messi, like I said, I'll say this every time. I think Messi's been so protected in his career, whereas those other boys didn't get that. They did not get that that shield that was put over them from whether it be FIFA as a whole, Barcelona as an actual team. Barcelona had no problem shipping Ronnie off after. I understand he probably would have been a problem party wise for a young Leo Messi. As soon as you turn, 18, he's going to drag him out to bars and be sambaing on Saturday night right before the game too. And you don't want that when you've invested $100 million into a 12-year-old. To me, they both it's played or a silly putty. It's you put one right over the other, and it's just the only difference in that is probably the longevity because Messi did take better care of himself. He did not go out and party Saturday night, showed up drunk or high on the game. And, that might have been part of the joy, man. He's like, yo, I'm feeling it, man. Like,
well, look who inspired Ronnie. It was the Maradona style.
Right.
Pele's.
Yeah, you talk about party style. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, but I mean, like you say, Ronaldinho kind of made the mold. Messi broke it.
Yeah. I know.
What you saying, Patrick?
First off, I don't know if y'all saw it today, but Messi came out and said he never wanted to go to PSG. That he wanted to stay at Barcelona, and he was miserable at PSG. And I mean, why would you want to leave Barcelona? I mean, truthfully, yes.
But if he didn't want to go there, why he just ain't go to City? Because that was the other offer. I mean, come on, that you know what?
He was afraid of playing at Stoke on a Tuesday night.
He didn't want to come to the Premier League. He didn't want to come to the Premier League because he knew the FA weren't going to protect him the way that Paris is protected. Paris is protected in general. Man. Ronaldo came here. Ronaldo did it. If he couldn't do it or match what Ronaldo did in the Prem, all that legacy's gone because now we have something to immediately point to and go, you didn't win a Champions League at United. You didn't win the league 6 times.
I couldn't have been at that press. I don't know if he did it in the press, but there's no way he says that in front of people and no one says, well, you could have went to City because literally the City offer was on the table.
Right.
There's no way. And then to make it further, and I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
You're fine. No.
Also, so not only did you go to PSG with a manager and an organization that you didn't trust or know, you turned City down with literally a front room staff that you knew from Barcelona and a manager from Barcelona. Miss me with that. I'm not trying to hear that. That's garbage. That's
He knew
absolutely.
it would. He knew it would immediately compare him to Ronaldo, and he could not do
Just
it.
more-
He cannot
That's
do it.
garbage.
I love
He
it.
could not
I
do it.
love
Just
it.
more
That's
fuel.
garbage, man.
Just more
Just
fuel.
stir in the drink. The straw that stirs the drink.
He should have just
No,
been quiet. Why even say it? Why even say that? Nobody was asking.
Exactly. I agree.
Well, he also
but
said that the MLS is going to be, is catching up to the European leagues, and I'm like, bro, you're not only
Bro,
are
you
you
scored
stirring
from
that Kool-Aid, you're
55
drinking
yards
it.
out on a. Yeah, no.
And
You're
that keeper
drinking
was
that
awful.
Kool-Aid,
Why are
bro.
people giving him credit? The keeper literally saw it and was like, "Oh, well, let me react 3 seconds late." Whatever. Ronaldo said that the Saudi league will be better because of him there. And hey, man, I don't believe in goats, but I'd be.
It
Hey,
has.
man.
No, everything
ahead,
Ronaldo has
Sorry.
said about Saudi league, yeah.
He's
has-
grown it exponentially. But
yeah, he has. He really has.
sorry, didn't want to. Yeah, didn't want to
And
take away from what Patrick was
Neymar
saying.
gets to post every hour, how amazing it is, and make
Did I mention how great Saudi is?
$500.
The Saudi's amazing. Can I get $5 off of that though?
It sounds like
He will.
David Beckham during the World Cup.
If I retweet it, do I get money?
You can watch the Saudi league on FS2, so it's coming.
It's coming.
But anyways, not to get too off.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But no, I was gonna say the whole master pupil thing, I think, fits perfectly in this situation, like y'all mentioned. I love Ronaldinho. He made the game fun. There's a reason why we're sitting here discussing this, because even though he hasn't played in 15 years?
I was about to say 12
Somewhere around
years,
there?
13 years.
You're making me feel old. You're making everybody look
Making
old
her
right
feel
now.
old now, yeah.
My point being, though, is he was so good that we still remember him, and his performance, even after he's been gone, he's not played in a decade.
Iconic.
Yeah, exactly. The thing about Messi, take away the GOAT, label, whatever you want to refer to him as. The guy he's different. I like to call people who are above and beyond in athletics an alien. And he is. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's 5'6", running around, taking on defenders. Like there one thing that I respected about Messi for a while was he didn't go down on first contact. He was willing to take on defenders. And, that's why I have more of a respect for him. But that said, I mean, the stats speak for themselves. It hurts to not say Ronaldinho because there's a soft spot there. But you're putting Messi on my team in a Champions League final. Dude's going for a hat trick.
Dude's stealing the show.
Exactly.
I don't know how many times I've literally watched Messi single-handedly dismantle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Even after one of Arsenal's biggest, most famous Champions League nights, we just go to the Camp Nou and just get blanked. Messi has 4 goals. 4 goals by himself. We didn't lose to Barca that night. We lost to Messi that night.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yep, well, there it is. Definitely a tough one for me. So we're gonna call it a night right there on the bracket challenge. Whether Ronaldo or Zizou will meet Messi or Ronaldinho in the final is up to you out there in the Cup Chasers family. So go ahead and get the likes up on the video, subscribe to the channel, and get that notification bell on. The bracket will be on Instagram, as will the polls. So go ahead and make sure you're voting out there. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being with us. Have a good night.